I stand here in my bustling garage in Birmingham, tools humming around me, surrounded by gleaming custom mobility scooters that aren't just machines, they're lifelines, dreams on wheels. I'm Jack Hargrove, a 5-year-old former car mechanic who's turned his rundown space into a thriving social enterprise, helping elderly folks reclaim their independence. We've delivered over 100 scooters now, each one tailored with love. And the profits? They fund community workshops for mental health. It's surreal, you know, like I've rebuilt my own life while fixing others. But this wasn't always my story. Let me rewind, because if you're grappling with your own dead ends, maybe mine will show you there's a way out. Back before everything crumbled, I was your typical grease monkey, elbow deep in engines at Hargrove Auto Repairs, a small shop I'd inherited from my dad. Mornings smelled of oil and fresh coffee, the radio blaring classic rock as I chatted with regulars. "Jack, you're a wizard with these old bangers," my mate Dave would say, dropping off his van for a tune-up. I was in my element, fixing transmissions, diagnosing rattles, the satisfaction of a purr after a rebuild. Family life was steady too. Wife Lisa managing the books, our 2 kids helping out on weekends. Debt was manageable. Depression never crossed my mind. I thought I had it all figured out, that the garage was my legacy. Then came the major failure moment. A gut-wrenching day in late 2022. Supply chains from the pandemic aftermath had jacked up parts prices. Customers dwindled with rising costs, and bills piled like wreckage. I remember the bank manager's office, sterile and cold, fluorescent lights flickering as he slid the foreclosure notice across the desk. "I'm sorry, Mr. Hargrove, but we can't extend any more." His voice was flat, like he was reading a script. I'd poured everything into keeping the doors open, second mortgage, skipped payments, but it wasn't enough. Walking out into the rainy Birmingham streets, the paper crumpling in my fist, I felt the world tilt. The garage shut that week, signs ripped down, tools auctioned off. It was over. Shame washed over me like engine sludge, thick and suffocating. I slunk home, avoiding Lisa's eyes, collapsing into our worn armchair with a bottle of cheap whiskey. "How could I let this happen?" I muttered, tears burning hot trails down my face. Fear clawed at my chest. What now? At 45, starting over felt impossible. Frustration exploded in arguments. I'd snap at the kids over nothing, then apologize through sobs. Humiliation peaked when neighbors whispered, "Poor Jack, lost it all." Lisa held me one night as I broke down. "We're in this together, love," she whispered. But I felt like a failure of a husband, a dad, a man. Depression settled in, heavy fog in my mind, days blurring into sleepless nights, staring at the ceiling. That despair birthed my decision to transform. Rock bottom came when I saw old Mrs. Wilkins from down the street struggling with her rickety walker, her face etched with isolation. "Jack, if only I could get to the shops myself," she sighed over the fence. Something clicked. My skills weren't gone. They were just dormant. I dusted off the leftover tools in our home garage, a cramped space smelling of rust and regret. Why not try? I thought. Starting small, I sketched a basic mobility scooter design on scrap paper, using salvaged parts from junkyards. The journey unfolded step by step, gritty and real. First, I researched online free tutorials on welding frames, wiring motors, spending evenings hunched over my laptop, fingers greasy from trial runs. I'd source affordable batteries from suppliers, bargaining like mad. "Mate, throw in extras for a regular," one vendor chuckled, sealing the deal. Building the prototype involved detailed processes, measuring ergonomics for elderly users, padding seats with foam from old cushions, installing easy grip handles. Struggles hammered me early, models wobbled, motors overheated. One setback, a scooter short-circuited during a test, sparks flying as I cursed. Bloody hell! Back to square one. Depression flared, making me quit for days. But Lisa's encouragement, "Remember why you're doing this," pulled me back. Mini breakthroughs sparked hope. After tweaking the suspension with rubber mounts, the first smooth ride around the block felt like victory, wind whipping my face. I gifted it to Mrs. Wilkins. Her joyful whoop, "Jack, you've given me wings," ignited something. Practical lessons emerged organically. Persistence trumps perfection. Iterating designs taught me more than flawless plans. Community matters. Chatting with neighbors revealed needs like adjustable speeds, leading to custom tweaks. And resourcefulness saves the day. Scrounging parts kept costs low, turning scraps into gold. I expanded slowly, posting flyers at senior centers, hosting demos where elders tested prototypes, feedback, sharpening my work. One workshop, an old gent suggested brighter lights. Implementing it boosted safety and sales. The climax hit last summer at the Birmingham Community Fair, my high-stakes test. I'd poured savings into a booth, displaying 5 custom scooters amid bustling crowds. Heart pounding, doubt screaming, what if no one bites? A council rep approached. Impressive, but can you scale for our elderly program? Deadlines tight. It was make or break. Setback struck. A supplier delayed parts, forcing all-nighters welding under harsh garage lights, sweat stinging my eyes. Exhaustion triggered a depressive episode, but I pushed, visualizing Mrs. Wilkins's smile. Victory surged when we delivered the batch on time. Scooters zipping elders to parks, markets, independence restored. Word spread virally. Local news featured us. Mechanics' mission rebuilds lives. The enterprise boomed. Debt cleared. Garage transformed into a hub with volunteers. Emotional payoff? Lisa's embrace at the launch. Kids beaming. "Dad, you're a hero." My self-identity reborn, not a failure, but a builder of dreams. Pride fills me seeing users thrive. Depression's shadow fading. If you're watching, buried in your own struggles, know this. From ruins, you can craft something beautiful. Grab that spark, tinker through the tough bits, and build your way out. You've got the tools inside, use them. The ride's worth it.